Hello, I'm Micker 410. Welcome to my channel where I focus on 3-inch revolvers and 410 shot shells. Let's check out today's video.
Hello everyone. In today's video we're going to be shooting 4 really old lead round nose bullets, calibers that just happen to be loaded up with lead round nose bullets. Okay, so we're going to be shooting 22 short, 22 long, 32 Smith & Wesson, and 38 Smith & Wesson. All of these are from pre-1900, as we covered in the caliber overview video. And we're going to be shooting them out of the Diamondback Sidekick for the 22 shorts and the 22 longs. The Charter Arms Professional in 32 H&R Magnum for the 32 Smith & Wessons. This model was chosen because it's the lightest weight of all of them, and then of all the 32 caliber firearms that we have. And so I thought that might be a little bit of fun to see what the maximum recoil would be, you know, if you were to choose to shoot that caliber for self-defense reasons or targeting reasons or whatever. And then finally, the 38 Smith & Wessons will be fired out of the Iver Johnson Model 3. And this is probably going to be one of the very few times that this gun shows up in the series before it gets retired to being a safe queen. I've only got this model of Remington 38 and then some old PPU 38s, I think, that I picked up at a gun show a while back. So aside from those two, I don't have anything else really that can be shot out of it, and I don't reload, so I think it'll get retired after the next time we bring it out. So the main reason why I'm doing 4 today, the format's generally going to be 1 per video, but all 4 of these are sort of thematic in that they're really old. They all have just lead round nose bullets, and they're all anemic enough that I think we should be able to get 4 shots into the clay that I have before I have to reform it. After the previous video where we shot the 380 ACP full metal jacket, which should be 2 to 4 times the amount of energy of any of these bullets, and after we saw what kind of cavity that made, I feel like I should be able to get 4 cavities out of the clay that I have for this today, before I have to reform the clay. And by clay I mean the plastilina, the modeling clay, the artistic clay. And that's kind of the point with the clay, is that I don't have to bake it or cook it or do anything crazy with it. I just kind of have to pound it back into shape. So after we shoot the clay and we see what it looks like and the kind of cavities we get, and then I fill those cavities with plaster, then I reform the clay in a mold. So, and then we will also be getting chronograph readings off of each of these. I have pulled the bullets from all of them and weighed the grains of gunpowder and the actual weight of the bullets. And you'll see those. I'll either insert them here or at the end of the video. I'm not entirely sure where yet. I'm still new to all this. And yeah, that's where we're going to go. So as always, eyes and ears, you know, we will be being as safe as possible. And I will be using the bench. And first we'll get some chronograph speeds, and then we will shoot into the clay. All right, give me a moment to get everything set up, guys. Okay, so I'm not entirely certain how much you guys want to see all of the little details here, but we're going to start with the new session pistol, 600 to 1700 feet per second. We're going to start with the 22 shorts. So
They are 29. 29 grains. Same thing with the longs. The longs and the shorts were both 29 grains, but with just a slightly different amount of charge in a powder charge. So I'll be curious to see how much that matters. I imagine it would be quite a bit. And we are 5 to 15 inches above. All right, so in order to open this guy, not sure if you guys can see that. I'm going to load all 9, but we're only going to shoot 6. Well, only going to shoot 5. We're always going to shoot 5 for our speed or our chronograph testing. That way it's even. 5-shot revolvers only need 1 load of all 5. 6 shots can handle all 5. 7 shots can handle all 5. 9 shots can handle all 5. You guys get it. All right. I'm not really shooting at anything but the backstop. I have some cardboard up there that's just junk. It's more kind of like a rough aim point, but nothing crazy. All right. And $594.7. $537.1, $528.5, $520.5, and $497.1. So as you guys can see, there is very little energy in these, but that doesn't mean that we can't, that we don't have to be careful with them. Ooh. Well, one of them just rolled underneath the sled here. There we go. Put all that off to the side for the moment. All right, so now we're just going to switch. No. Okay, I got to back out and end the session. All right, let's go down to history. Session 25. Shot list, 15.9 foot-pounds, all the way to a whopping 22.8 foot-pounds. So, yeah, quite anemic, but that's okay, you know. It says anemic, had very little felt recoil, very soft, very fun to shoot, but, you know, always be safe with all of it, guys. No matter how anemic it sounds here, it's still a bullet. All right, so let's back out of this, back out of that, back out of that. Let's do a new session. Same thing, 29 grains. And this will be for the longs. And we'll see if there's any difference in numbers being recorded. So, you know, none of any of this, sorry. None of the 32 or the 20, none of the 22 shorts or 22 longs had even a grain of powder in it. All right. I don't remember the exact number. I got pictures. Like I said, I'll insert that into the video somewhere. But both bullets were 29 grains. And the powder charges were like half a grain or something like that. Okay. Both of these are from CCI. Both of these are the only loadings for 22 short I've ever seen and 22 long I've ever seen. So these will probably be the only times we shoot these calibers in the series. It's really, these are really just kind of fun to kind of get an idea of what the people in the past, in the 1800s, were working with when they did all of their varmint hunting or small game hunting and varmint removal and target shooting and little going to town self-defense loads, all that kind of jazz. Okay, so we've got that loaded up. Again, not really shooting at anything. Let's see if there's any difference between the 22 long and the 22 short. 526, 468, 425, 513, and 474. All right, so I really don't think there's going to be much difference at all between these two. They seem really identical. I don't honestly know why the 22 long rifles even exist at this point. Once I found out that the grains were both the same weight, the listed velocities were both the same, 710 feet per second on both boxes. Clearly that has to be from like a rifle of some kind, you know, a Ruger 1022 or something, because we're getting like half that velocity out of a 3-inch barrel with a cylinder gap. So, you know, they seem really identical. As far as I can figure, that 22 long really just has to be in case there's some sort of really old gun out there that's chambered in 22 long only, you know, or that only really works well with 22 longs. Maybe doesn't feed 22 shorts right or proper or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, let's back out here and take a quick look. Yeah, 14.5, 11.7, 17.8. So yeah, again, these are very soft shooting rounds. I would, you know, highly recommend them for something a little bit, for really light work, you know, for getting kids used to shooting 22s, you know, in case you want a long day of plinking and you don't want to be tired at all. Yeah, I don't know. They're neat. They're fun. I really enjoyed that. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't even remotely stressful on me. I'm sure there was no recoil. I'll be really curious to see how well or what the impact cavity is going to be like in the clay. All right, let's get the Charter Arms loaded up here with the 32 Smith & Wessons. These are sometimes called 32 Smith & Wesson shorts, but that's not what they're labeled on the box. I think that's just sort of something that has come along since there are 32 Smith & Wesson longs that are descendant from these. These are 88 grains. They did have a higher powder charge than the 22s, which I think, you know, is sort of obvious. You have to. All right, so we're going to start up a new session. Pistol. All right, so 88. And that's what they were listed on in the box, so I was happy to see that that all lined up nicely. Again, not really shooting at anything. A little bit more recoil. This sled is awkward to shoot on. Oh, 669.5. Previous reading was 648.7. 610.6. 639.8. And 654.9. So, obviously more energy than the last ones. Almost 200-ish more foot-pounds on average, or 200-ish more feet per second on average. And let's see, 88 minus 29, 59 grains heavier. So a lot more energy. But I don't think it'll be, this is also a caliber that you could shoot all day without any stress. It's very comfortable, very nice. I kind of am surprised it's not more popular for target shooting. I know that the 32 Smith & Wesson longs are pretty popular for target shooting, so, maybe they have a smoother, flatter trajectory because they're going faster with only a slight increase in grainage. Anyway, whatever, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. And now, let's shoot. Well, let's back out of here. In the session, let's take a quick look at the history. Shot list. All right, yeah, so 83.8 foot-pounds, 72.8 foot-pounds. This is almost, 5 or 6 times the amount of energy out of these than out of the 22 longs or 22 shorts. And yes, significantly more recoil, but significantly more of nothing. So, and to be honest, I still would consider all of these to be pocket calibers, even the 38 Smith & Wesson, even though it would probably be a very bulky pocket caliber and might even fit in that really awkward range of the 380 ACP, which I feel like is in between pocket and duty carry. All of these calibers are things that I would think would work well as a kit gun or, you guys get it. All right, so let's back out of here. Let's go up and do a new session. All right, so these were these 38 Smith & Wessons are significantly heavier. They did accurately weigh up to 146 grains. So, let's see, 146. And because I know guys like to see this top break. Aha. All right. Got them all loaded up. Let's take our shots. Again, not really shooting at anything. Just roughly aiming in the vicinity of that cardboard. 596.4. 565.7. 627. 573. And 610. So, nothing fancy. Slower than the 32s, but they weighed almost twice as much. So I bet you we're going to have a significant increase in foot-pounds of energy. Let's back out of here. Go down to history. Shot list. Yeah, 120, 106, 124, 103, 115. So that's still significantly higher than the 32 Smith & Wesson, which was significantly higher than the 22 shorts or 22 longs. So yeah, that's like the kinetic energy range that people were working with pre-1900, out of these pocket calibers. They were looking at between 11 foot-pounds of energy and 120 foot-pounds of energy. which is significantly different than what people are working with today. So, you know, there's been a big improvement in powder, in technology, and, you know, I'm curious if that's going to change how it all impacts. Which it will, I'm sure it will. But anyway, you guys get it. I'm going to wrap this up here and get everything set up for shooting into the clay, and I'll see you guys in a couple more minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time to shoot the clay. We're starting with the 22 shorts. I'm very close because I'm a terrible shot. And let's see. Yeah, that's like nothing. Yeah, this is why I felt like we could shoot all 4 of these calibers today. I felt like it would be all right. Oh boy, that we'd be able to fit them all in into the clay here. So again, I can't imagine that the longs here are going to have any more energy or any bigger of a cavity than that. So on the top here for the clay, because you guys can see 2 bricks. On the top, I've got 2 bricks deep of clay, each brick, plastilina, sorry, the actual name of the clay. Each brick is 4.5 pounds. And then on the bottom, I've got 3 bricks in a row. And on the bottom is where we're going to shoot the 32 Smith & Wesson long, not long, 32 Smith & Wesson short, and the 38 Smith & Wesson. Okay, I've got the, the 22 longs loaded up. Let's see. Yeah, just nothing. That's neat. That's interesting. That's good to know. You know, maybe these are perfect for trappers. You know? I don't know. Okay, so that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Let's do our 32 Smith & Wesson next here. That's a bit more. I'm not upset about that. I think that looks pretty good, to be honest. Very comfortable, very light. And you know, all 3 of these revolvers have been pleasurable to shoot. The triggers are nice on them. You know, the trigger on the Sidekick is heavier because it's a rimfire. It needs more energy to be able to set off the rimfire bullets. But yeah, that was very comfortable. And let's check on the 38 here. Yeah, interesting, very interesting. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. That 38 certainly made a bigger hole than the 32 did, you know, and back before expanding bullets were a thing, back before people had the velocities to really get things going, that's all they had to depend upon was a bigger diameter bullet. You know, that's why the 45s were so popular back then. Yeah. Also, just a moment here, I have found a bit of errant brass sitting out in the field. And this is one of the reasons why I really like revolvers, is because I don't have to go chasing brass. Let's see. What is this? This is... Yep, 9x19. So this is 9mm brass that a buddy shot out of his Security 9, Ruger Security 9, I believe, and he just missed it. So, yeah. Oh my God, there's another one. Anyway, guys, that is why one of the big reasons I like revolvers. So I'm looking forward to getting these cast up and showing you guys kind of what they look like here. And then, you know, eventually I'm going to make some videos where we compare the castings like all in a row. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys have had as much fun as I have. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Goodbye. Oh, you know what? Real quick, guys. I'm going to, I know I said goodbye. But real quick, we're going to see if, I'll move the camera up closer. And we'll see if there's any exits. And if we can reclaim the bullets. Look at me getting ahead of myself because I got distracted by that brass. All right. Let's see, what do we got here? So, those are the cavities. We got 22 short, 22 long, 32 Smith & Wesson, and 38 Smith & Wesson. Let's see if these exited out of the back. Let me mount you guys back up. Okay. And okay, so none of them exited out of the back of their blocks. So let's see. Yeah, this brick was safe. This brick of clay was safe from 32 shorts. Sorry, 32 Smith & Wessons and 38 Smith & Wessons. Let's see, is the top brick here completely safe? Yeah, this top brick completely safe from 22 shorts and 22 longs. Let's see. This bottom brick here. Oh! The second brick caught the 32 Smith & Wesson in it. And this is interesting. Okay, so that's the 32 Smith & Wesson. That's a dent from the 38 Smith & Wesson. And this is fascinating. This is why I wanted to do this. This is so much fun. This is the back end where that 38 Smith & Wesson, it looked like tumbled, maybe? Yeah, because these are lead round nose. That's the back of the bullet. So it tumbled in there in that short distance. You know, that's small. So that's very interesting to me. Didn't make it into the second brick. Whereas, and this is why we're going to do such comparisons. You know, I can say this now because in just one previous video, we've only done 2 videos now. The previous video was the 380 ACP, which is basically the same diameter, but about twice as many foot-pounds of energy. It went clean through 2 bricks of the clay. And that's not really penetration of clay, isn't really what I'm looking for. The cavity is what I'm curious about, you know. So it'll be very neat to see. So, you know, when I take these back and when I line them up, I'm going to line this guy back up with the cavity behind it, or the brick that was behind it, and pour the plaster in that and get that whole mold. I'll pour plaster in there and get that whole mold, and then you guys will get to see all of it. Neat. And then the back of the brick that contained the 22 short and the 22 long, nothing. So here's the front, 22 short, 22 long, and just nothing. So, all right, guys, that was a lot of fun for me. Now I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, everyone. So, and sorry about jumping around so much in this video. In the next portion, you're going to see me shoot 22 short and 22 long into this ballistics gel and be very confused by the performance that we get. And I figured out why when I was starting to edit the video together, so I decided to make this follow-up here to correct for that, or this insert and then follow-up. So what ended up happening was I shot 22 short and 22 long out of the 22 WMR or 22 Magnum cylinder that the Diamondback Sidekick comes with. The Diamondback Sidekick can swap cylinders, and I just used the wrong cylinder. It has a 22 short, 22 long, 22 LR cylinder, which is what's in there now, and a 22 WMR cylinder. And the reason for that is because 22 WMR is slightly has a slightly bigger diameter than the 22 short, long, and long rifle cartridges do, by 0.016 inches, I believe. So that increase in chamber size in the cylinder prevented the 22 short and 22 long from getting a full buildup of pressure behind the bullets when they were fired, which greatly reduced their velocity, which creates the results that you will see in the next section of the video. At the end of that section, I will load up the footage of me shooting this ballistics gel with the proper cylinder installed, so you can see the proper results of 22 short and 22 long. Sorry for the error, everybody. Thanks for being patient with me. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. All right, hey everybody. So we got this ballistics gelatin in before I finished editing up the video on 22 short, 22 long, 32 Smith & Wesson, and 32 or 38 Smith & Wesson. So what we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of the fact that we've got the gel, and we're going to shoot all 4 calibers into this gel that's got just a little bit of use in it already. And we're going to aim for our 22 short there, our 22 long there, our 32 Smith & Wesson there, and our 38 Smith & Wesson there. Let's see how these old, obsolete calibers work in our ballistics gel. Now, they all have lead round nose bullets, so we don't expect there to be anything too fancy, just sort of a standard ice pick looking penetration going on. Let's see how accurate this prediction is. All right, so first up is our 22 long or 22 short. Wow. Holy crap. That was so soft. Man. It went off. Oh, dropped it. Anyway, I lost that guy. It went off. It's not stuck in anything. It's not stuck in the barrel. We're going to try another one. That was really poor performance. That's a little concerning. So, and that was CCI, CCI 22 short. So it should be good stuff. All right. Let's try that again. 22 short. Right here. Let's see if anything happens this time. That was trippy. What the hell is going on? Am I missing from this short distance? Here's the bullet. Are they just bouncing off? They might just be bouncing off, folks. That might be why I'm always wearing safety glasses. I guess we'll try one more. All right, let's try again. Third time's a charm. Again, these are 29 grain, lead round nose, 22 shorts. All right, looks like we finally got some penetration. That's so incredibly shallow. I'll show you guys in a moment when I'm done shooting everything else. But I think the other two just bounced off. That's crazy. I've never seen penetration that shallow on anything. Not even birdshot. And I'm very close. That's really scary. Okay, folks. That 22 long, it bounced off and hit me in the hand. It did not penetrate, but it did bounce off and hit me in the hand. All right, so that's going to be the end of my testing with 22 short and 22 long. That performance is just really, really low. Man, holy crap, because it impacted right there. And it hit me right here. There's not a bruise, there's no break in the skin, there's nothing. And these are the cases. The 22 long and the 22 short. Man, that's wild. I wasn't expecting that at all. And this is just 10% ballistics gelatin. And it's like 45 degrees out right now. So it's not cold enough that it should be really affecting it. Wow, absolutely trippy. Okay, well, let's move on to our 32 Smith & Wesson. So we're aiming for down here, guys. All right, so that's an actual penetration. I like that. Yeah, that one actually did its job. Holy moly. All right, now let's do the 38 Smith & Wesson, and then I'll show you guys how deep everything went. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, that one also went in, did its job nicely. Let's take a peek. All right, so these are our entrance holes. 22 short, it is right there. 32 Smith & Wesson right there. 38 Smith & Wesson right there. I know it's a little hard to see because of all the powder left over from the 22 short and longs. So our top-down view, that guy right there is the 32 Smith & Wesson. This guy here is the 38 Smith & Wesson, and he traveled out and came back in a fair amount. And this guy right here, that's the 122 short that we got to penetrate. That's nothing. And like I said, we couldn't get any penetration on the 22 long. And after it bounced back and hit me in the hand, I'm not doing that again. So let me measure these distances for you, and then we'll wrap up the video for the day. All right, guys? Okay, so 22 short went in about half an inch. That's nuts. That's absolutely crazy, about half an inch. Now the 32 Smith & Wesson, that's not too bad. That's between 10 and 11 inches. You know, I mean, we want 12 minimum, but it goes to show that, like, that caliber was doing something back in the day for people. You know, there was room for improvement, sure, but it was better than nothing. And same thing with that 38. Let's see here. That 38, it went to just about 9 3/4 inches before it sucked all the way back to just a little bit over 7 inches. You know, again, not great. Definitely room for improvement, but holy smokes, better than 22 short. Yeah, guys, I wouldn't count on 22 short for just about anything. All right, everyone. So now that you've seen the poor performance of the 22 short and 22 long out of the incorrect cylinder, let's see the proper performance with the proper cylinder. I'm going to aim 22 short here, 22 long there, see what we get. This should be significantly better. Same ammo as last time, CCI, roughly the same distance. Only thing that's really different is the temperature. The temperature is like 34 instead of 45. Anyway, here we go. And 22 long. That 22 short felt and sounded significantly different. Let's check the 22 long. All right, let's look at those results. Okay, woohoo, here we go. Snow, snow, snow. Anyway, our results are significantly better. Here is 22 short, and it's gone about 5 inches into the gel, which is massively different than the ½ inch it went last time. Still not something I would depend on if I didn't have to, but it's there. All right, it is a much better performance, and it's a performance that's much more in line with other things I've seen online. And the 22 long, 22 long, which is just 22 short, a 22 short bullet loaded into a 22 long rifle case. Let's see here. It seems to have gotten about 3.5 inches of penetration before it got sucked back to about the 2-inch mark. Again, these aren't results that I would rely upon for any sort of serious work. You know, maybe light pest work. I imagine it's still more energy than most small air guns. But, yeah, it is massively different performance when shot out of the proper cylinder. 22 long just bounced right off, and 22 short took 3 shots before one of them even lodged into the gel. Anyway, thank you guys very much, and sorry about all the snow, and sorry about having to put this video in, and thank you for your patience. I'm glad we were able to get real results. See you in the next video.